everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. It's here. It's time. Week 1. The season is here. 2 games kicking off tonight. Let's preview both of them, starting with the one that kicks us off for the indoor football season. Jacksonville at Massachusetts. All right, let's do it. Jacksonville at Massachusetts, 6:05 p.m. Central Time on the Indoor Football League Network. Again, $30 for an entire season, $10 per month. You get 30 days for free if you want to, pay for it, if you want to watch it. If not, enjoy the previews, enjoy the recaps. I will have highlights and stuff like that as the games go final and things like that, as I try and maneuver my way through these previews and recaps in this sophomore season. So with that, let's get into it, shall we? Moving into the season leaders, there are no stats to speak of. So highlighted the top passers, rushers, and receivers that I think are going to potentially have big games, or kind of the returning guys from last year. Caleb Barker, Kenji Behar, they're your quarterbacks for each team. Jimmy Robinson playing against his former team. And Puka Williams, former Kansas University standout. Jaden Stoshak and Thomas Owens are your receiving guys. So we'll talk more about the rosters and stuff in a little bit. Let's talk injury report for the Jacksonville Sharks. Marquise McLean, Ronald Marlborough, and Ja'Cory Johns are all on short-term injured reserve. You can see the dates that they were added. You get 2 weeks injured, and then you can come off of short-term injured reserve. For the Massachusetts Pirates, Afanyi Maye, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and RJ Mobley have both been put on short-term injured reserve for their side, and we will see how that shakes out when we talk about the 25-man roster. Betting odds, we've got an over-under of 84.5 points, and Massachusetts is favored by 5.5, so not quite a touchdown, but touchdown could cash you, so we'll see. Moneyline does favor Massachusetts, minus 230. So if you want to pick the underdog, Jacksonville on the road, there you go. We are at the Tsongas Center in Lowell, Massachusetts. Again, it's on the Indoor Football League Network. Got to pay for it. And then finally, head-to-head, Massachusetts leads. And again, these guys have had some history back in the NAL days, and I'm only counting last season or the times that they have played in the Indoor Football League, and that is Massachusetts leading the head-to-head 2-0, with their last meeting being Week 15 of last season, a 44-30 win for the Pirates. So with that, let's go take a look at that 25-man roster. As always, we have bets and predictions and all of that stuff after that, and we got a second preview. All right, we're going to talk 25-man rosters as they pop up over my face. And we're going to start with the away side, the side on your left, the Jacksonville Sharks. Most likely quarterback number 1, Caleb Barker. There you go. You got your guy, and we'll see what he can do. Blaine Espinoza is going to be his backup, and then we will see who gets the start at running back. More than likely, Jimmy Robinson with Tyler King spelling him, but do not be shocked if Edward Vander does get into the backfield as well. He is listed as a wide receiver running back hybrid. So with that, you will probably see him running some routes, as they only have 3 guys with numbers. Vance Bennett and Marcus Rogers, both, they could still get in there as part of that 21-man, but I think they've only given numbers to 21 guys. So those guys with numbers on your screen for Jacksonville, I believe, are going to be your 21 players that have made their way to Massachusetts. So we'll see how that wide receiving core shakes out. On the offensive line, Eric Harris, Leon Brown, Dominic Jackson, I believe, will be your starters. Chaz Neal is in there as well. Again, we will see if he suits up or if they just go with 3 offensive linemen. Defense, Kayvon Bennett, please correct me. Chris Rice, Noah Lyles, and RJ Wilkins will round out your defensive line. Hayden Hatcher is your linebacker. And Tyrese Ross, Jordan Whitley, John Huggins, Malik Jones, Corey Kelly round out the secondary, with Malik Fleming potentially suiting up, maybe not. Your kicker is Carson Hancock, who they just signed sometime this week, and you'll see that a lot with a lot of these rosters. They will sign guys like kickers more than likely within the week and kind of go from there. Some guys have had, Ernesto Lacayo, Kyle Kaplan, whoever, and we'll see. But That's who we got for Jacksonville. Let's move on to the home side, the Massachusetts Pirates. Kenji Behar is your quarterback number 1, and then Anais Dennis is quarterback number 2. Your only running back on the roster is Puka Williams, and then your wide receivers, Javon Tucker, Tio Redding, Isaiah Coulter, Thomas Owens, and Isaac Zico. Your offensive line, Nick Ford, Jordan McCray, Tommy Champion, and Yvonne Donaldson. Defense, Dominic Kewen, Jablonski Green Jr., Guy Thomas, DJ Dale, and Terry Beckner Jr. Your linebacker is Voshan Joseph, which there's a couple of other linebacker defensive backs, and I'll talk about that in a sec. Donnie Lewis, CJ Holmes, Matt Elam, Marquise Waters, Sal DePoli, and Marcus Floyd round out the secondary. Now, if I remember the Massachusetts roster on their website, I believe Marquise Waters is like that linebacker defensive back hybrid, and I think Sal DePoli is too. So we'll see who plays linebacker, but it could be Voshan Joseph. Your kicker is Timmy Bleakroad. As always, go Big Red. You'll know this from all my videos. Huge Nebraska fan over here, so go Big Red. And for the Kansas guys over there, Rock Chalk 2 here in the Midwest, and MIZ for the Missouri guys. Well, but anyway, enough about where I'm from. Let's go talk about some bets. Let's go talk about our predictions, and we'll get on out of here. All right, our bets and predictions, and this is where I'm going to kind of get a little deep in the weeds and kind of talk, rosters and stuff like that and how they affect each other. First of all, let's go with our bet. Let's just start wild with it. Jacksonville money line. Let's try and make some money off the jump. I will tell you this, though. I am concerned about Jacksonville's secondary just because of the lack of experience, and that is a steep learning curve going up against a wide receiving trio of Redding, Owens, and Zico, and obviously Coulter and Tucker are in there as well. But those three guys, and you've got a guy that's played in the USFL, he can sling the ball. So that passing attack from Massachusetts could be something that Jacksonville is going to be kind of on their heels, though. Where I look for Jacksonville to attack is that defensive line. Noah Lyles coming over with the accolades he had with Tulsa last year. RJ Wilkins is re-signed, and we'll see what new defensive rules with the blitzing and stuff that Hayden Hatcher can do. But this is just a completely different defense than what Jacksonville had last year. So I'm going to be waiting a little bit with bated breath to see how they attack. Offensively, I do look for Jacksonville to run the ball quite a bit, whether it is with Vander, Robinson, or King, or Caleb Barker using his legs. I know Barker can throw as well, so using Karan Ashley and Jaden Stoshak, Edward Vander is like that slot guy, or maybe high motion. We'll see if he does jet sweeps and things along those lines. But I do look for that to be a more balanced offense. It's not to say Massachusetts won't be either, but I think Massachusetts will try and pass to run, and Jacksonville will run to pass, if you catch my drift. Defensively for Massachusetts, though, I think this might be where they could make my bet lose. They do return quite a bit, especially on that secondary. But if that defensive line can get after it with Guy Thomas coming back and Jablonski Green, I know he only played in a couple of games, including the championship game, but that secondary with Matt Elam, CJ Holmes, and they got rid of Paris Ford. Excuse me, I thought he was still on there. No, never mind. But with CJ Holmes and Matt Elam, that secondary is still pretty good, and they could lock up Ashley and Stoshak. Just remains to be seen. However, I am picking Jacksonville, just the way that they were able to come on late last season, win quite a few of those games. That offensive line kind of returns. They do get Karan Ashley from Quad City, Edward Vander from Quad City. I look for them to run it, control clock if they can, and really just see if they can keep the offense of Massachusetts on their heels, or on the sideline, excuse me. For Massachusetts, like I said, I think it all comes down to if the other team's going to control the clock, can you score quick? Can you use that air raid style? Like, can you pass the ball to set up the run? Can you get it? Can you get the defenders back in order to run some draw plays or run the ball? I do not know Kenji Behar's scrambling ability. Correct me, but I just assume if you were in the USFL or UFL or anything, like, you're mobile, but you're not a scrambler. If you catch what I'm saying. So I do look at it like that. As a Nebraska fan, Timmy Bleakroad is good, but a little left to be desired, I'll tell you that much. He's a pretty good kicker. I'll say that, though. So if it comes down to kicking, I do kind of give the edge there to Mr. Bleak Road. But ultimately, I do like Jacksonville in this one. I think they pull the upset. Upsets are ripe in like the first couple weeks of the season. And if you're favoring Massachusetts, that's perfectly fine. But I just think Jacksonville, with what they were able to accomplish at the end of last season, going into this year, business as usual kind of thing. Massachusetts kind of in flux. Jimmy Robinson is on the other side. Alejandro Benefield's retired, and their coach didn't show up. Fred Griggs got promoted to head coach. It doesn't really matter who their coach is, though. That's just kind of how it goes. So that's what we have. Like I said, I think Massachusetts pulls it out. My score, 42-34. It's close. I think Jacksonville pulls it out, though. So I think it's a little bit back and forth, but I think the Sharks win it. So let's go take a look at our second preview. All right, preview number 2. We got Green Bay traveling south to take on the Quad City Steamwheelers, 7:05 p.m. Central Time. Where? The Indoor Football League Network. Subscribe. Yay. Anyway, as we did with the previous preview, there's not a lot of stats to talk about because no games have been played yet. So who I think are going to be kind of the starters in those leading, skill positions: Max Myler, Daquan Neal. For the passing, rushing, Joshua Mack and Jared Ware, and receiving, Lowell Patron and Kevon Rudd. Injury reports, and my goodness, has Green Bay gone through it already, and they haven't even taken a snap yet. Let's start it off with Rafiq Abdul-Wahid, short-term injured reserve, along with Harry Ballard III, Eric Abaji, Demetrius Moore, and then let's not forget season injured reserve for Timothy Robinson and Noah Saria. As for the Quad City Steamwheelers, Nicholas Harris and Tyrone Patterson have both been placed on short-term injured reserve for Quad City. And again, not as big of a mash unit as Green Bay, but we'll see how much that affects the Blizzard and the Steamwheelers. Game odds over under of 85.5, and Green Bay is favored by 3.5. So field goal game with a hook. We'll see how it goes. Green Bay is favored on the road -180, Quad City +150 for the underdog. We are at Vibrant Arena at The Mark, 7:05 p.m. as I said earlier, from Moline, Illinois. Should be a fun game. Our head-to-head, Green Bay actually leads it 7-5, with their last meeting being the 2024 Eastern Conference first round. Green Bay won the game 34-23 before eventually losing to Massachusetts in the Eastern Conference Championship. So with that, let's go take a look at our rosters, because we got to figure out who Green Bay is going to put in their uniforms, and we just go from there. All right, 25-man rosters popping up over my face, and we're going to talk about them, as always, starting with the away side. Green Bay Blizzard, Max Myler returning for another year. He is your perennial quarterback one for Green Bay right now. TJ Davis will back him up. I do not know who is all starting. We will figure it out when the teams take their snaps, but I am inclined to believe Joshua Mack, the former Jacksonville Shark, will be running back number 1. Your wide receiving core, Lowell Patron, Andre Williams, Zane Lewis, and Terrell Carey. And then your offensive line, Andrew Carter, Devin Johnson, Jake Parks, and Roderick Williams. Defensively for the Blizzard, Akeem Meatball Smith, Sue Kamara, Tamaje Porter, Allen Henry, and Rashawn Williams are your defensive line. Sir Zion Dance will be your linebacker. And rounding out the secondary and the defense, Nigel Canada, Kevin Ransom II, Mamadou Mbai, Nerion Washington, Cale Jackson Jr., and Andrew Perkins III. Your kicker for the Blizzard is Andrew Mevis. And there we have it. So, when you look at that depth, they have it all around and in spades. So we'll see who is going to be sitting when it comes to the 21-man roster versus the 25, because you can take 21 to suit up, and then obviously you have your starters and then the 3 or 4 guys that you have kind of being your substitutes. Over to the Quad City Steamwheelers, and offensively will probably be led by Daquan Neal. Demery Croft will back him up. Running backs will be Jared Ware Jr. with Geno Appleberry probably backing him up. We'll see how that goes. Your wide receiving core, they've got quite a bit. Travell Calvin, Davion Johnson, Dion McShane, Devonair Conliffe, Kevon Rudd, and Jordan Vesey round out that receiving core. Your offensive line, Joe Krell, Ivory Scott, and Tyrone Chambers. Defensively, Kadir Shepard, David Cagle, Keyshawn Moore, and Chima Dunga. Your linebackers, Bubba Arslanian, which, if he still goes by Bubba, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to call him Bubba for the sake of this video. Brian Lee Jr. will round out the linebacking unit. And then on the secondary, Trey Smith, CJ Parrish, Chris Chukwuneke, Malik Duncan, and Cameron Harrell. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Chris, please let me know. Kicker, Kyle Kaplan, and we'll see if he has a couple of deuces in him or if Mevis will as well. They were both pretty good kickers last year. Top 5, if I'm not mistaken, for both of them. So with that, we have our rosters. Like I said, a pretty good receiving core for Quad City. We'll see which of them sit, which ones don't suit up. Maybe they take all 5 of the secondary as well. We'll just kind of see. I think that's their entire 21, if I'm not mistaken, though. But anyway, let's go take a look at our bets and predictions, and we'll kind of get all into it. Alrighty. Bets and predictions for Quad City in Green Bay. I am taking the under 85.5, and I will kind of tell you why. I think both teams are going to run the ball. And I am curious to see how each defense does. I know that the secondary for Green Bay has always been something magnificent. They don't have Various Rivers, though, and they do sign quite a bit. You know, Kevin Ransom's back, Nigel Canada. They do get Mamadou Wemby, but Quad City, while they do have an extensive wide receiving core, I will look for Daquan Neal to run it, and I will look for Jared Ware to run it, and I will look probably for some jet sweeps and maybe even Devonair Conliffe at 240 pounds to see if he can barrel his big butt in there. For Green Bay, I am curious to see how they go about it. They have Lil Patron and Andre Williams. Harry Ballard is on the injured reserve. We will see what Max Myler does when it comes to a dual threat, though. They did run the ball quite a bit last year. Jalen Cagle, E.J. Burgess, Max Myler. They did throw the ball quite a bit, too. Like I said, Lil Patron, Andre Williams, Harry Ballard, and I'm blanking on the other guy. I apologize, but for the sake of the video, say it in the comments. I'm worried about the offense a little bit. Not because I don't think that, for Green Bay's offense, not because I don't think they can't score points or that they're going to do bad or anything. It's just got a question mark. Are they going to throw the ball a little bit more? Or are they going to be dedicated to the run? We kind of have a sense of what Quad City's going to do. Daquan Neal's probably going to run first, pass later, and they do have quite a bit of passing targets. So like I said, if they can run to set up the pass, I think Quad City has an opportunity to exploit a little bit. We'll see how, on the heels they can get Green Bay's defense. On the flip side, though, Green Bay's secondary is kind of their bread and butter. So I'm looking at that passing attack for Quad City and the secondary for Green Bay. On the flip side, I love Bubba Arslanian. He came on late. I think when I did their preview, he only played 6 games last year. So I'm hoping for big things out of him. Keyshawn Moore made all IFL honors last season. Chima Dunga comes over from Tulsa. Can they blitz? Can they attack that running game? Kind of get them on their heels and see if they need to start throwing the ball a little bit for Green Bay. For Green Bay's defense, like I said, secondary is good, but can that defensive line get pressure and force the passes? If you can start getting that pass rush and make Daquan Neal make mistakes, there's a chance you can get some turnovers. They're really good at turning the ball over last year. The secondary for Quad City, also nothing to sneeze at as well. Trey Smith is back. Malik Duncan, Cameron Harrell comes over from Sioux Falls Storm, and then CJ Parrish and Chris. I love you, Chris. That secondary could shut down Patron Williams and then 2 rookies in Lewis and Carey. So we'll see how Quad City kind of attacks that and if they are able to kind of go about it. I think Green Bay and Quad City are going to run the ball to try and set up the pass, at least in this first game, and we'll see how they attack each other. But ultimately, I do think Quad City wins this game 38-35. It's close. It comes down to a field goal. They're favored by 3.5. Green Bay's favored by 3.5. There's your 3. Sorry about the hook. But anyway, I do think it's close. 38-35. Steam Wheelers win it. So let's go wrap everything up and get out of here. That is it. Friday's preview out of the way. Again, we'll get this out on Friday morning. You got a little less than 24 hours, 12 hours, whatever, to watch the video. Maybe I get it out Thursday night. I'm not sure. We'll see how dedicated I am. But yeah, that's it. I'm looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to this for like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, however long it's been. And I am just excited to have indoor football back in my life, to make these previews, make these recaps, watch the games, chat along with everyone on social media, anything and everything to just make the time fly by and just have fun. This community is great. I love it. And even through all the bickering and all the, stupid BS with the Indoor Football Network and anything and everything too, all the stupidity, it's fun. I love you guys. I do. I love every single one of you, no matter what. With that being said, taking off here. I love and appreciate you all the time. Thank you for watching these videos, subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting, doing whatever. It makes this so much fun to do. It makes me want to keep doing it, and I do. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Until then, I'm going to sign off here, guys. I am just excited to get this out of the way, but I need to finish this up, edit this all, put the music in, and we will get to Friday before you know it. So until then, guys, love you. See ya.